Okay boys, compound interest now. These ones are quite simple if you just keep your eyes out, especially for where the compounding period is not annually. Okay, we'll see what that means in a minute. So for the moment, let's deal with part A. Okay, so the amount is going to be the principal, which is $12,000, times 1 plus 8 is the interest rate over 100, so that's 8% written as a fraction, times 3 because it's an investment over 3 years. Alright, we would simplify that perhaps before launching to our calculator, like so. And our calculator is going to tell us that the amount that accrues is $15,116.54. Remember to always write your answers to dollars and cents with 2 digits in the cents place. Alright, that's part A. Let's now have a look at part B. It's the same problem except the interest is accumulating monthly or compounding monthly. So let's see how that works. Okay, so, whoops. Let's have a go at part B. Alright, so A is still $12,000. 1 plus, now here, because it's compounding monthly, we've got to divide our interest rate by 12, because there's 12 months in a year. And then, instead of raising it to the power of 3, it's going to be 3 times 12. So you can see that what you're doing here is dividing your interest rate by the compounding period, so it's monthly, so dividing it by 12. And here, for n, you're multiplying it by 12. Okay, so the next line is going to look like this. A equals 12,000. You might want to do a bit of work with your calculator and get it to this stage. And your answer is going to be $15,242.84. You should notice, gentlemen, that seems okay because the shorter the compounding period, the higher the amount will accumulate. So, and if it's the same amount, $12,000 in this case, because this is compounding only annually, that is a lower amount than this amount because it's compounding monthly. How long will it take me to double my investment of $10,000 if I can get 6% interest compounding quarterly? Well, here we always start with the formula and substitute what we can in. But it's a how long question. So really what we're trying to get is the value of n. And as you're going to see, that's going to involve taking logs of both sides of an equation. Okay, but for the moment, let's just substitute our values in. Alright, so, well, the amount is going to be $20,000, isn't it? That's the amount I want to get to. And that's got to equal 10,000 bracket 1 plus R. Well, the interest rate's 6, but it's compounding quarterly, so I've got to divide by 4 and then put it over 100. And that's what I've got to find, the number of payment periods right there. Okay, so dividing both sides by 10,000, we get 2 equals, let's have a look at the brackets. You'll find that comes to 1.015. Use your calculator to work that out. 6 divided by 4 equals, and then divided by 100, and then add 1 to it. And n, as I say, is what I've got to find out. Okay, so I can take logs of both sides and make use of a log law to solve this. It's going to look like this. Therefore, log 2 equals log 1.015. That's a 1 there, not a 7, to the power of n. And now I can make use of a log law, which you should remember from year 10. Log 2 equals n times log 1.015. Now, what I can do is divide both sides by log 1.015, and you'll see when I do that I'll have n by itself. Okay, so let's get some space going. And I'm going to write n on this side equals, so dividing both sides by log 1.015, I get n equals log 2 over log 1.015. Now on your calculator you can enter that as follows: log 2, press equals, then divided by log 1.015, and you're going to discover that n equals 46.555, and I think there are some decimal places after that. Now it's important to remember here, very important to remember, that this n is relating to quarterly periods, right? It's not going to take me 46 years to accumulate, to double my money. So because it's in quarterly periods, what you do is you divide by 4 and you get number of quarters. Let's be explicit about that. Number of quarters, sorry, number of years is the number of quarters divided by 4, so it's 11.639 years. Well, that's all very well, but what you're going to find is the bank's not going to pay out precisely at that point. It's going to pay out to the quarter, so you always find yourself rounding this up. And what you're going to find it rounds to is 11 years. And 3 quarters, which is another way, you could say 9 months. Okay, and that's the end of that problem.